little pinchy as we get in here. So I would expect that not to happen. I should be able to get this knee over this ASIS without a pinch, and that's not really happening. Okay, so just looking at that. I like to long axis distract. And I'm just seeing, remember, it should sort of just be sequential in the way it happens. And this whole just kind of all moves at once. If you like look at this region, it all just sort of goes together, especially right into here versus, if I want to emphasize that, I can plantar flexor. Now I'm looking more front, and that gets even stiffer than dorsiflexing. That has a little bit more give, right? So just sort of looking at different things. That's a lot of what I'll look at. I'll wiggle the foot. So right now I just kind of take the calcaneus and step around the table, and that inverts it. Rather than inverting it, put yourself in a better position, and then just sort of, to me, I'm like just looking at your second zone right here of your foot. I'm sort of dorsiflexing and getting you to where it would be for your rear foot. And comparing that. Different, right? You can feel how much tighter the rear foot is. What am I feeling? End range motion. So inverting the calcaneus. And basically I'm just looking at that, and you can see I'm wiggling as hard as I can. I'm gripping and going hard. Yeah, it's stiff. You see how much more motion there as I step around the table. It's inverted.
So you're looking at the second transformational zone?
That to me in my head is the second transformational zone of the rear foot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at. Like I'm like wringing out a towel, and that is stiffer. So that's just rear foot. I can wiggle 4 feet and cuneiforms and just see that forefoot's stuck. Mm-hmm. Okay, so like if I just take her cuneiforms, which right now at rest typically sit a little plantar flexed, inverted, and adducted. So I'll reverse those motions, which is the first zone in the forefoot, in the midfoot. So I can take the calcaneus, I'm just kind of grabbing the cuboids. I'm feeling like which is the most proximal one, or cranial one. And then I just sort of, what is that? I guess forefoot eversion. And then I dorsiflex a little, and then I'm just assessing forefoot. I'm kind of pulling caudally. And that motion just at the forefoot versus, same thing, evert, dorsiflex, I take up slack towards me, and then I'm just wiggling, and there's no motion here. So now let's think. She had limitation in internal rotation and a second zone here, limited internal rotation here, so second zone. Her midfoot on this side, first zone, is limited versus that. That to me in my head, and again, it's never just like one issue or one point in time, but this to me would be more of an issue with her right foot forward than her left foot forward. And I haven't watched her move, but I would have already. So now I know that the motions that I need to work towards are going to be more probably getting this to move a little better. When a foot's hitting the ground to load in, right? Her foot's hitting the ground, there's an eversion, and this happens right here, and this dissociation that occurs. And if you can't get that there, what's going to happen? Boom, it's all going to go together. And the knee gets upset.